I just came across one of the most insane barn finds that I've ever seen in my entire life. I got an email from a viewer of our channel. His boss was getting ready to potentially sell some of his airplanes, helicopters, super rare military vehicles, and so much more. So we hopped in the helicopter and we flew straight to this little desert airfield just outside Reno, Nevada. And what we found there literally blew our minds. For having us.
Oh, thank you for coming here.
Ah, it's beautiful. You got quite the selection.
Well, the best stuff's inside and everything and stashed everywhere.
Always is. You don't mind if we film?
No,
you okay?
You don't.
There we go. Blur the face. He's on the FBI's most wanted list.
You know, I don't know who's after me this week.
Yeah, never ends, right?
IRS, OSHA.
You got all the same friends that I do.
We had a Trump rally 3 years ago.
Oh, cool.
On Saturday. Monday I had a OSHA inspection.
Of course, yeah, and then an IRS audit a few months later. Meet my new friend Rick, a legendary collector who spent over 40 years buying and selling civilian and military aircraft for his personal museum collection. How long you been here?
Since '86.
Oh, wow.
So
wow. Hi, how are you? I'm Dave.
Hi, I'm Veronica.
Nice to meet you. Where do you get most of your stuff? Just all over the place?
Auctions and GSAs. If nobody else wants it, we get it before the private people get it.
Nice.
And everything. We do things for the airport and they want to kick us out. So.
No good deed goes unpunished. You have a museum, right? Is that the...
It's a 501c3. Okay. Everything here has a story. Yeah. This was the very last Marine Corps, a frog. It had something like 6 grams of lead to smooth out the blade. So it was such a perfectly balanced rotor system and everything. $16,000 in fuel to get here. it kind of keeps in my mind.
Yeah, you remember that one.
16,000. But
did it ever get a certificate, or is it still in?
We got the ferry permit and everything. It's registered. It just needs to be licensed. They were scrapping them.
I know,
like crazy. Here, the only thing with this one was an antenna BNC connector wiggled loose.
That's it.
So all the way across the United States. That's the only thing that was wrong.
Wow, that's impressive.
So it was a very.
So it hasn't flown since it came here, right?
Mm-hmm. Now it's off the time limit and everything.
Yeah, I saw some of these on GSA about a year or so ago. They were the green ones that were selling through there, and that was the last batch of 46s I ever saw. G model, F model?
It's actually a G model. And then it went into the S mod. It had the infrared target sighting unit on the front. I converted it back to the G model. 703 engine. It's got the K747 blades, so they're 10,000 hours.
Yeah.
They've got all 212 gearbox.
When's the last time this flew?
About 3 years ago. 3 years. This is one of the few that have still the
curved windows.
The curved windows. All the others are the modernized F's and P's and things like that. I think there's only about 3 of them left.
Really? Yeah, you don't see them with the bubble windows.
It's got, cool. And it's got all of the guts in it to actually make it right. This started out as a Boy Scout donation, and they sold it to a crop duster in Texas. I traded him a T-28 trainer project. So.
This is so awesome. This is one of the most iconic helicopters ever. This is the AH-1 Cobra, predecessor to the Apache, which is the Army's latest and greatest attack helicopter. It's basically a Huey that they made really skinny, made the blades much bigger for much more lift, and it's designed to literally just carry a couple of guys and a bunch of weapons, whereas the Huey is designed to carry a bunch of guys and maybe a couple of weapons. All this stuff is demilled, which means it's no longer functional. It's not a functioning weapon. It's just kind of the housing of what's left. It's also got the fake machine guns on the front. On the actual turret mount, the pilot actually flies from the back seat, and the gunner sits up front. And from what I understood, they only had controls in the rear, but this one apparently has a side control for the front, because I thought that the trainer models, I don't know, I'm not 100% sure, not that familiar with the controls on these things, but from what I understood, you can only fly them from the back seat, but this one has controls front and rear, which is what the trainer models have. It's a freaking Cobra with the canisters and everything on it. Like, this is a cool machine. I'm gonna climb up that backside.
Now, as Rick gets older, he's decided that it's time to downsize. With hundreds of vehicles and aircraft, he's out of space. And he's also decided that he'd rather spend his golden years relaxing and having fun rather than trying to manage this massive collection. Fun fact, Rick is actually a direct descendant of Mark Twain. Yeah, like the Mark Twain, one of the most famous authors of all time. And the best part is, when you compare pictures, they even look like each other when he was younger. His collection is his life's work, and he literally knows every single detail about each item in his collection. Over the years, he's acquired these treasures from government auctions, private sellers, and other secret sources that he doesn't really want to share.
This right here is a CH-46 Sea Knight, aka the Frog. It's like a baby Chinook. And when I say baby Chinook, it's really, I thought they were way smaller. It's not that much smaller. I mean, it is definitely smaller. Chinooks are big, big helicopters. This is the identical, like as far as the rotor system and the controls and all that stuff goes. This is what the Marines loved for all their offshore stuff because it was super nimble, has the ability to pick up about 6,000 pounds, put like 20 troops in here, and they're fast. Believe it or not, Chinooks are actually faster than my Blackhawk. Ryan, who flew out here with us today, he was a Chinook pilot in the Army. And he's like, yeah, when we would fly, we would outrun the Blackhawks all day long. And I could see it. They run like, you're pushing them, they'll get up like 200 miles an hour. The Navy and the Marines commissioned this program, and anytime they build an aircraft, they start with the name of the aircraft, which is the CH-46, and then each new model, like each model year, rather than talking about what year it is, they talk about the model designation. So there's a 46A, 46B, 46, and so on. This basically is the latest and greatest. This was the last flying CH-46 Frog in the Marines. Like, there was one squadron left called HHM or HMM 774. HMM 774, that was the name of the squadron that had these, and they just retired them 6-7 years ago, and they replaced them with the V-22 Osprey, which is the tilt rotor. It's a wild, wild aircraft. You guys have always joked in the videos like, hey, you need to get a Chinook, what's next? Like, joking. And I always thought it was kind of a joke too, because a Chinook is just a big commitment. Like a CH-47 is the real Chinook. They're so big. They're just, it's like, you need a whole crew. And you probably need a whole crew for this thing too, but for some reason, since it's a little smaller, in my eyes, it's a little bit more manageable. So what I'm saying is I'm actually considering figuring out a way to maybe own this, maybe.
Part of the crew reporting for duty.
We got our crew. And our friend Rick here, the old timer, has been spending the last several years of his life collecting military equipment. So he's got everything from tanks, Humvees, old 5 tons, all the way up to Cobras and CH-46s. The goal is to see everything that he's got, get as much pictures, information, talk with him, learn more about it. And then I'm gonna spend the flight back home trying to figure out how to make sense of all this and what we can do. Some of this stuff could be purchased as an investment for resale. Some of it could be purchased to be used on the channel, search and rescues, recoveries. We haven't even got to this yet. Like, this is called the OB-10 Bronco, and it is apparently just a tank killing machine. It was built for observation and attack. One of the goofiest looking planes ever, but apparently just a hot rod. Tons of power, tons of performance, tons of maneuverability, and they, had weapon systems mounted on these things. It's a really cool plane, and he has 2 of these. Max speed 284 miles an hour, cruise speed 207, stall speed 86 miles an hour. They say these things can take off in like 700-foot runway. Like, it doesn't take any, it's like a bush plane, just straight up. 500 rounds of 7.62 machine gun, plus 3,600 pounds of mixed ordnance or gun pods. So just 3,600 pounds of blow you to the... This is a weapons mount. So you can basically put whatever you want on there. They make extra fuel pods, they make, you name it. Museums don't really ever sell their stuff, but our friend Rick here is making some changes to his organization, and I think he needs to bring in some capital to be able to do some other museum stuff that he wants to do. So in doing that, he's gonna offload the stuff that's just been sitting around. He's been doing this for a long time, so everything has a story, and sometimes when things have stories, it makes them really hard to buy because they've got an emotional attachment, which usually brings the price up higher. However, I was quoted some prices on some of the stuff, which is why we're here, because some of the stuff was pretty reasonably priced, especially the frog over there, the Chinook.
So after exploring inside his first hangar, we decided to head outside to check out all the aircraft that he has lined up on the ramp. Rick shared stories about the history of each item along with his own personal experiences with them. Now, I tried to get Rick to give me some ballpark prices, but he was reluctant to give any exact numbers. Instead, Rick told me to figure out which machines I was interested in and then go do some research, figure out what the market value was, and make him a fair offer.
Some really cool stuff over there. You should go check it out.
Holy crap, I am overwhelmed. It just keeps going. Like, we haven't even left the first location yet, and I've got probably 100 photos of different vehicles in my phone. This plane, an A-26, it's an attack bomber. The coolest plane, like one of the coolest planes you'll ever see. And he just barely sold it, which sucks because he sold it cheap and I probably would have been interested. This thing's rad. This is an Albatross. This is like the seaplane of all seaplanes. Obviously this bad boy just lands right on the water. Landing gear up, put her down. The belly's like a boat. These are your sponsons, basically pontoons that keep you stable. In fact, a buddy of mine had one of these and they went camping down Lake Powell in it. It was like the coolest thing I've ever seen. And he told me that this one right here may be available. That one's still kind of 50-50. Actually currently trying to fly. You see the front nose wheel off the ground? This chain right here, the wind is literally trying to make this plane take off. Wheels completely up the ground. But this right here would be the sickest tiny home, Airbnb. I just gotta figure out how to get it back to Salt Lake. But it's got so much room in there. These are the rad old jets from the Air Force. Intake went through there, and the jet engine, that was the jet engine intake. It went through, like, the whole plane was basically a giant engine. This is a water bomb plane designed for firefighting.
Oh yeah, you boys are finally here. Let's go. Hi, I'm Frank. I've been sitting here for 10 years. Please get me up in the sky. Please. That's what I imagine he talks like right there. Maybe a little more nasally because his nose is plugged. Hi, I'm Frank. Hi.
He told us that he has multiple other locations, including one just down the road at another airfield that's jammed full of more vehicles and more aircraft. And he asked if we wanted to go check it out. And naturally, we said.
Now we're headed over to one of those other yards, and we gotta make it fast because we're fighting daylight. We just landed at location number 2, and it's so windy that it's popping out.
I hate to see when they get trapped. These wild tumbleweeds get out here away from their families and they get themselves in a precarious situation, they get stuck. So you gotta set them free. Let them roam the earth like they were built to roam.
You don't have legs, then it's then you break your hip and it's like a crazy.
You don't have legs?
Yep.
Are they prosthetics?
Yep.
Both of them?
Yep.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Rick, you get around like you got good legs. That's impressive.
I do everything I used to do, just half speed.
I can't believe how you got great balance. I would have guessed maybe you had bad knees. You're walking around like you got legs still. That's impressive.
That's why I tried not to brag about it.
Yeah, no, you do really well. It's a cool old Case farm tractor. Is that an actual Army model? Yeah. This was my childhood truck. This is my family grew up in, yeah.
There's a lot of treasures in here. A lot of really cool stuff. We just snuck into a giant toy box. By snuck in, he let us into his toy box. You don't have to air that part though.
You got a Cessna Skymaster that flew over in Laos that actually he connected with the original pilot, and the pilot listed all the kills that he had from this plane. This is an observation plane.
I've got launchers for it. No, that's what.
So they did arm these.
Well, they put smoke, and so it's got the gun sight that works, and we did put in some different radios.
There's so much stuff. I guarantee you that one door panel or that little piece of glass, somebody spent their whole life trying to find to restore their plane, and he's got like all the hard to find stuff right here. So this is definitely a gold mine for the right buyer. But everything here is definitely a project. There's some stuff that's like pretty much ready to go, but still most of the stuff has been sitting. But it's indoors, it's in the desert, so no humidity, no rust, none of that stuff. This is the best place you could possibly store stuff, is in the Nevada desert.
Steering wheels at an angle.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, huh?
Yeah, it's got high and low.
Four-wheel drive with portals.
Half ton.
It's got portals on it?
Yeah.
Like a little Humvee?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do a lot of good yard work with this thing.
Oh yeah.
And I could just load toys on the back and take them to the dump.
At this point, I am completely overwhelmed, but in the best way. The sheer number of vehicles, aircraft, and equipment that Rick has is honestly blowing my mind. There are items in here that I honestly never thought I would see in person, let alone have the opportunity to buy. It's honestly hard to wrap my head around what I even want to make an offer on, but I will tell you this. Which of these items caught your attention the most? What do you want to see us buy, build, restore? You tell us. This is a community deal. It's not just me putting on a show for you guys. It's all of us working together to track down really cool stuff and save it from being lost forever. Drop a comment below. Let me know which one of these vehicles you'd like to see on the channel, and also just let me know which out of the whole collection you would choose for yourself, because I genuinely want to know. I'm heading home with tons of info and pictures so that I can, put together some offers for Rick on the pieces that really stand out to me. Huge shout out to Rick and Josh for taking the time to, hang out with us and show us around and let us see this incredible collection firsthand. Cross your fingers. Maybe we'll be able to make a deal and you guys will see more of this stuff soon.
Found a pile of gold in here. If you had to fly one out of here right now, if all of a sudden zombies attacking, you had to jump in one, which one are you going to jump into?
All I want is that shirt.
Sweet shirt, huh?
Thank you, guys. Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
Rick. We appreciate you, sir.
Thank you. Thank
Be
you.
in touch with you soon.
Thank you very much.
my
Thank
man,
you.
sir.
And like I say, I promise to watch and subscribe to your thing now that I know you and everything.
It's safe to say that I am completely overwhelmed by what I've seen here today. We didn't even have time to make it to the third yard. If you guys know of somebody who has cool stuff that they need to get rid of or whatever it is, hit us up, info@HeavyDSparks.com, and we may just come visit you. I will tell you that some of the stuff is going to become available that if you guys wanted access to it, I will work on figuring out a way to get you the contact information so you can reach out and buy some of the stuff directly, because Rick is liquidating pretty much everything he's got here just because he's ready to kind of downsize and focus on just enjoying life. He's had his fun with this stuff is what he tells us. So very cool guy, and hopefully you guys enjoyed. So now we're gonna get back to Salt Lake.
What a cool dude. You know who else is cool? You. Stay cool.